Vishnu Sahasranama, name 913, Sisira. This is or was a fairly common name in Bengal previously, understood to mean the cool season. However, Parashar Bhatta interprets it in a different way, in relation to the deliverance of Gajendra. He rushed to render help. Shudva chakra gadadhara sannidhyam kalpayama sattasmin sarasi. That simply by hearing Gajendra calling, he just rushed off to be close to him. The pained cry of Gajendra pierced his heart. And with his Sudarshan chakra and his mace, he flew down to the bank of the lake. He's always depicted as coming on the back of Garuda. But actually he was in such a rush that he left. He didn't inform his wife, Lakshmi. So she must have been wondering, what happened? He just suddenly ran out of the house. Did I do something wrong? It looked like he was in a lot of anxiety. He didn't even say anything to me like, I'm just going out, I'll be back in 5 minutes. He just left. And when he found that Garuda wasn't going fast enough, he took Garuda and flew by himself, and carrying Garuda in his hands. When Gajendra called for help, "Hey Narayana, deliver me from this difficult situation," Bhagavan Narayana became very angry at the crocodile. Got there as fast as he could, cut the crocodile into two, and relieved Gajendra from his misery. Of course, this is all Leela because Bhagavan is in the heart of his devotee. He's in every living being. So he could have just manifested himself right there. Or even just from Vaikuntha, he could have just killed the crocodile. But he wanted to personally go and deliver Gajendra. Yeah, as I said, the common meaning of Shishira means the cool season. Shankaracharya uses this meaning and says that he cools down the burning situation of material existence for his devotees. We are all suffering adhyatmic, adhibhotik, adidaivik klesh, with miseries from our own mind and body, miseries from other living beings, and miseries from natural disturbances. But Bhagavan cools us when we're burning in the fire of material existence. One recent commentator, 20th century commentator, Satyadeva Vasishta, he takes both meanings, that one who leaps suddenly, quickly, one who moves, and the other meaning is the cool season, and takes the meaning that Bhagavan, he supports all living beings by methodically moving the seasons. This specialty of Satyadeva Vasishta is that he often interprets names in terms of Bhagavan's actions within the material world, of how he maintains the material world and all living beings therein. Baladev Vidyabhushan explains, just by seeing him, by his very darshan, all the sorrows of the devotees are washed away. That was certainly the case for Gajendra. Simply seeing Bhagavan coming in the sky, even though he was still tormented by the crocodile, he immediately felt great relief upon seeing Narayana, understanding that my torture is now just about to be ended. So these two meanings, one who goes very quickly, who moves, and that he's very cooling, or he is representative of the cool season. So these two meanings can be combined, that he is very cooling and comforting to persons who are tired of material existence. Nitai pada kamala koti chandra shushitala jaichayai jagata judai. The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are more cooling than millions of moons. And in the shade of his lotus feet, all the world can be relieved. Just as the cool season is very cool and pleasing. So Krishna, just thinking of him, remembering him, it calms our whole consciousness. Our mind is always agitated. People go to psychologists to get relief from the perturbations of the wild mind. But the real process for relief from the problems of the mind, Bhaja Huremana Srinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindarre, to worship this Nandanandana, Krishna, whose lotus feet are the abode of fearlessness. When someone gets very agitated, we may tell them, cool down, cool down. I suppose they say that in Russian also. Yeah, everywhere, every language you say hot-headed, cool-headed, in every language they say. So, we are overly heated, especially in this modern age full of rajoguna. We can get relief in remembering Krishna. Just like Gajendra, he was suffering physically and mentally. When he realized that he had no other shelter but Narayana, he called out to Narayana. He looked up to the sky and prayed to him. And Lord rushed to save him. Okay, I'm just going to take shelter of a little medicine here. Medicine is also given by God. Not so sure about this allopathic medicine, but it also has its usage. Name 914. Sarvarikara. Anyone want to give their son that name? It's a not very common name. You wouldn't know because you have names like Ivan and Alexei and all that kind of thing. But many of these names in Visnu-sahasranama, they're still used commonly for children in India, but not so much now. They have all stupid names now. But Sisira, yeah, I know that name is, at least in Bengal, that's given, or used to be given. One famous Bengali was Shishir Kumar Ghosh. Any others famous Gujaratis? Shishir? Huh? Ganesham. Yeah, that's a famous name, but do you know anyone called, you ever heard the name Shishir for a boy? You know someone. So it's still used. Still used. But Sarvarikara, you ever heard anyone with that name? No. You'll only people who know Visnu-sahasranama will know this name. It means he who has weapons in his hands. That's one meaning. One name already, well, just a few names ago we had the name Chakri. Means he who has the disc weapon. Prior to that, in the 8th century of names, we had Sarva Shastra Britambara, the best of holders of Sarva Shastra Britam Vara, the best of the holders of all weapons. Shastra means weapons. Astra and Shastra. And Shastra means scripture. And the very last name in Visnu-sahasranama, name 1000, is Sarva Praharana Ayudha, who holds all kinds of weapons. So it's a similar name. So Shavari is understood to mean that which tears to pieces, hurts, kills, and kara means hand. So he has weapons in his hands. Parashara Bhatta says that Bhagavan came to deliver Gajendra with 5 weapons. His Shankar, conch. You can see the picture. Panchajanya Hrishikesha. So it's not exactly a weapon, but it is a declaration in the context of fighting. It's a declaration of you're ready to fight. And in Bhagavad Gita it's also stated that when the Pandavas and Krishna blew their conches, that the hearts of the enemies were shattered. So when Krishna came, he had Shankha, Chakra, his disc weapon, Gada, his mace. It's not mentioned that he had a lotus flower. That was being offered to him by Gajendra. But Bhagavan had his Sharanga bow. Translate properly. Translate properly. And Nandaka. Nandaka means, that's his sword. That's the name of his sword. So he was well prepared. Crocodiles are difficult to kill. Did anyone ever try? I don't know, but some of you might have killed a chicken. No, nowadays people don't kill chickens, they just buy it, right? We won't make a survey. Pigs are very difficult to kill. You know that? They fight like anything. I haven't done it. I've seen in India the people, they keep pigs, and then when they have to kill them, it's not such an easy thing. So another meaning, of the word kara is to do. So we have words like karta means doer. We find that comes up in Bhagavad Gita a few times. Karta hamiti manyate. Foolish person thinks, I am the doer. Kartavya means something which you should do, your duty. In Indian languages up to the present day, we have words like Wokam koro, do that work. So kara comes again. That's in Hindi. So another meaning, if we take to do, then the word sharvari can be who makes violence. Sharvari hingsa tang karoti iti Sarvarikara. Yeah, that means that. One time on a train in India, I had a big argument with a Christian preacher. He said, your God is always killing people and our God is the God of peace. And I said, well, ultimately God kills everyone. Whether he does it personally or indirectly, everyone is killed. We have in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna even says, I am death, mrityu sarva harashchaham. I am death that takes everything away. But he also delivers us from death. It depends whether we want to be a Gajendra devotee or a crocodile non-devotee. Actually, the Gajendra was a devotee in his previous life, and the crocodile was also a demigod, and they both got cursed to take lower life forms. By killing the crocodile, Narayan gave him liberation. And Srila Prabhupada explained that crocodile was actually blessed to become a great devotee. Because he said that somehow or other he was in contact with the lotus feet of a devotee. So Srila Prabhupada said that somehow or other one should be in contact with the lotus feet of a devotee. Biting is not the usually recommended way, but better than being an ordinary. If you're going to be a crocodile, at least attack a devotee. Sometimes we wonder, in our movement, they're all supposed to be swans, but some don't like to say it, but some seem to be something more like crocodiles. Why are they harassing us so much? Well, somehow or other, they're in the association of devotees. One of the meanings for the word Sharvari is night. He makes the night. He makes the night, he makes the day. Shankaracharya uses this meaning to mean that because the night is dark and stops our ability to see, our vision, so night can be compared to ignorance. So ignorance or illusion means forgetfulness of him. The sun creates the day, and indirectly the sun also creates the night. Because the absence of the sun, light, means night. So similarly, Krishna Surya Shama Maya hoy andhaka jaha Krishna taha nahi mayar adhika. Where there is Krishna who is like the sun, wherever there's Krishna Surya Shama, so wherever there is Krishna, there is no possibility of the darkness of Maya, of illusion. Here we also have in the word andhakar. It's the same derivation. Kara means that which makes, and andha means blind. So that which makes us without vision is night, is darkness. So ignorance or illusion means absence of proper knowledge. We have in Bhagavad Gita, Ya Nesha Sarvabhutanam Tasyang Jagarti Samyami Yasyang Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nesha Pashyato Munehe. Just like what is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled. And vice versa. Just as much as the self-realized souls are in the light of transcendental knowledge, the ignorant persons wallow in darkness. Persons who are self-realized, they don't experience all the cares, worries, troubles, pains of persons in material existence. While persons in material existence have no idea of what is the state of the liberated soul. Literally speaking also, daytime is the time for activity, rajoguna. And night is the time of tamoguna, sleeping, inactivity. Of course, nowadays people, they go on 24 hours, especially in the big cities. When I first came to Russia, it was common that the airlines, they would take off at night at 2 o'clock in the morning, domestic flights within Russia. Something like that, take off at 2 o'clock, land at 4 o'clock. Maybe something like Voronezh to some short flight. And for some reason, they have an airport in Voronezh, I can't remember. Anyway, Bryansk, there's an airport there. That's only a very short flight. Anyway, whatever. So one commentator, Radha Krishna Shastri, says that he makes the night, that's his kindness upon the overly active living beings. At least they get some rest. People have so many worries and hard work, at least they get some rest. Of course, it's common in the present age that people have so much anxiety that they can't even sleep at night. Shita atava vatava rishana edina jamani jagire. This Govinda Das, that same song, Bhajahure Mana, says that being harassed by various material miseries, I'm harassed day and night. And literally speaking, the transcendentalist, he rises early in the morning. That time early in the morning is very good for spiritual practice. Very good for spiritual practice, even not only in the Vedic tradition, but even in Christian monasteries, they rise very early. For some time before I joined this movement, I was staying in a Christian monastery, and their services began at 3:15, I believe, in the morning. 3 o'clock, something like that. So for the person in Tamagun, they simply sleep and get some relief. Persons in Sattvagun take advantage of the calmness, which is very suitable for spiritual practice. Another meaning is that he is the cool rays of the moon. In one sense, everything is Krishna, but especially we see in those things which are very pleasing. Not in Russia, maybe, because it's mostly, Russia is famous for being cold, whereas India is famous for being hot. So in the hot season, in India, at night people, they're very they're pleased by the cool rays of the moon. That is appreciated in the villages, not in the towns. We find also that Krishna, we'll find that when he saw the beautiful moon of the Sharat, autumn season, he thought this is a very good time to dance with the gopis. So the cool rays of the moon are a form of Krishna, who may therefore be known as Sarvarikara. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Somo Bhutva, I become the moon. Becoming the moon, he makes the vegetables very nice. The vegetables become very tasty, full of rasa due to the moonlight. Because he is rasatmaka, he is raso vaisaha, he is full of juice. Baladev Vidyabhushan, our Gauriya commentator, gives another meaning of the name Sarvarikara. Kara means in the hand, Sarvari means that which kills. So he gives the meaning that in the hand of Bhagavan is a vegetable that kills. Which vegetable kills? Any poisonous vegetables?
Coconut.
Any idea? This is a tough one. There are poison. Some berries are poisonous. There's poison ivy. They must have that in Russia. That ivy that's like almost triangular. Then there's deadly nightshade. Is one plant. It's in England. It's related to tomato, bell peppers. What's that? Bagun? What do you call it? Aubergine. So there are. And then in India there's that datura. Is vegetable. It's not, well, if you want to kill someone. But it means, you won't guess it, it means the vegetable that killed Durvasa's hunger. Because Draupadi, famously, we were discussing this morning, she called out to Govinda when she was being disrobed. But another time, when they were living in the forest, the Pandavas with Draupadi, they were living in the forest. Draupadi had Akshay Patra, a cooking vessel with unlimited amount of food. So whatever she cooked, she could serve any number of people. Because the Pandavas, they were moving in the forest and so many rishis came to them and it's their duty to feed them. But there was a trick to it, or a condition, that she would serve everyone and she herself would take last of all, and after that was it, finished for the day. So Durvasa Muni was known to be of irritable nature. But one time he came to Duryodhana and Duryodhana served him very nicely. So Durvasa offered him a boon. So Duryodhana said, you go to the Pandavas with all your 60,000 disciples, you go and visit them after they've finished their meal. So Duryodhana's idea was that the Pandavas would be obliged to feed their guests, but they would be unable to do so after Draupadi had eaten. So Durvasa came with his disciples. Yudhishthira greeted him and said, yes, please, we'll feed you. Just go take your midday bath in the river. In the meantime, he told Draupadi. Draupadi said, I already ate. Now what to do? We invited Durvasa with all his followers. He'll curse us. So what to do? It's time to call again, Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. So Govinda comes, says, yes, what's the problem? So Draupadi tearfully explains. So Krishna arranges. He says, is there anything left in the pot? Because after Draupadi eats, there's nothing left in the pot. Is there anything left? No. Look carefully. There's a tiny bit of vegetable stuck to the pot. Krishna said, give that to me. Patrang pushpang palang toyam yome bhakta prachati tadaham bhakti uparitama shnami prayatatmana. I'm satisfied if my devotee offers me leaf, flower, fruit or water. So, yes, but I can't, I have to give you a meal, not a tiny bit of vegetable. Krishna said, give it to me. Okay, he took it. I'm fully satisfied with my devotee's love. Yasmin tushte jagat tushta. When he is satisfied, the whole world can be satisfied. So at that time, Durvasa with his disciples are in the river, and they became fully satisfied. They felt as if they had eaten a huge meal. And Durvasa, then he consulted with his disciples, what are we going to do? Yudhishthira must have prepared so many lush, lavish preparations, but we can hardly move, let alone eat anything more. So they all left and didn't come back. Therefore Krishna is Sarvarikara. With the deadly vegetable, he killed the hunger of Durvasa and his followers. Krishna is very intelligent. Hare Krishna, that's the end of this talk.